How's it going, everybody? Welcome to TEXAN Tailgate, episode 41 with Oozing Orange. Tonight, got to have a very special guest on. Thank you, everyone, for being here. So, if you do have any oranges, just go ahead and blow up the chat and just, get it out of your system. Uh, with no further ado, joining us tonight, we've got Oozing Orange. How's it going
Hey.
there?
Dude, keeping it crisp, keeping it zesty. We're doing
Oh,
good.
ooh, you've already got an orange on you, so you came prepared.
Yeah, we got a
Yeah.
bunch of oranges.
We got Godfather J6. Thank you so much for being here.
Evening, gentlemen.
Evening, evening. So we'll go ahead, say hello, see who we got in our chat here tonight. Godfather, of course. Our first one to start throwing the oranges. We got Mr. Raffoon. Thank you so much for being here. We got Hexy Quinn. I still don't get the whole monster, but it's all good. Uh, got Bullish OX, Hexographer. So Nate, it has been a while. Tell us, how have you been? What have you been up to? And I'll put some music on so it doesn't seem any more awkward.
Oh yeah, no, it's all good. Yeah, man, I just want to thank you first off for inviting me and just having a peak of curiosity of what's really going on behind the scenes. I stepped away from streaming for about like 6 or 7 months now, so it has been a bit of a journey, right? And so during that time, essentially, I stumbled upon an amazing little gang here known as the Tang Gang, right? And we just ended up all vibing together as a unit. And what really was occurring for me was I guess I was trying to find my niche, my spot in this industry, in this place. Streaming, when I was doing it, I had a little bit of support, but it wasn't exactly what I felt like I wanted, or maybe that I had earned or deserved. And then I needed to take a step back and kind of absorb more knowledge, kind of look to people who had been in the space longer than me and educate myself further and try to be ingrained into the culture and try to prop up the people that have been working so hard that I felt like had been neglected this entire time, right? And this goes all the way back to Hex's launch before pre-Pulse Chain. So shout out to like the Staker class, Hex Funks, shout out to Mana, shout out to those premier artists that have been here from the get-go before Pulse Chain started, and they're finally getting the recognition that they well deserved. And at the end of the day, my mission was just, in general in crypto is like, I want to make the world a better place in my own way. And so giving my energy, giving my support, trying to provide any form of value, form of entertainment and stuff like that, whether it be just me being a hype train. I have my days where I get serious and I talk from the heart, right? And so it was this balancing act. So we land here. I've always been a supporter of Texans. Still I am. I'm still riding strong. 22-year stakes, baby. Let's go. And because it's like these subgroups on Pulse Chain, they resonate with me the deepest. I feel like they have some of the most authentic individuals who are just trying to master their craft or put out their energy to the world, right? So there's just a lot of growth that has been happening in between then. I'll let you guys go a little bit more because I can ramble all day, but it's been more than I could have ever imagined. And I'm just blessed to be around all the creatives, all the fantastically talented people that really in my ethos, they're the ones that give Pulse Chain that energy, that enigma that it like shines bright in the dark. Like these people are the day ins, the day outs, believers, the true people that stick by what I believe Richard Hart was teaching us. And I think the chart of the Tang Gang of the HOA kind of resonates and shows that. Because we put into the practice of like providing liquidity and delaying our gratification, because liquidity providing, you have to be knowledgeable at it, and it's a longer term play that pays out. Too Spooky often refers to it as real estate on the blockchain, which is a very valid point. And we know that, the two people, some of the main people that make money are the founders, or people that hold the longest. And so if you're holding while earning fees, and you understand the balances and intricacies of like a permanent loss, it's nothing but net benefit, I believe, for the whole ecosystem.
Oh, absolutely. And I think you just hit the nail right on the head. A lot of times we just have to try different things until we kind of like find, what we really resonate with. And I think it's great. Sometimes I've had to, take a step back from things and, rethink things and, just try different things to get the results that you're looking for. And, when I think of meme coins, it ties into everything, not just crypto related, but just life in general, because, everybody likes to surround themselves around such a great narrative. So, one of the questions I wanted to ask you was, how important and effective, like, is meme culture, and what does that do for community? And, uh, would you say that, memes are one of the most effective tools to get people onto layer ones? Just to hear your perspective.
Yeah, man. Look, yeah, I look at this as a very straightforward thing. At the end of the day, one of the most effective forms of information spreading things is like propaganda, right? And the best way to do that throughout times has been images, through posters, through magazines. Now we're in the digital era, so people can have, and they have all these tools like Canva, etc., at their forefront, at their feet and their hands, to sit there and let their brain, if they're that creative side, even if you're not crazily creative, just take the risk in going and doing something, right? It's a statement. It's more than just an image, right? It sums up 1,000 words in just one photo. It's a lot. Most people, we have this short attention span. We live in this like ADHD now world. So sure, the paragraphs and the long tweets or whatever, like, and the long like hour, 3 hour like YouTube videos, they have their place, right? But they don't hit the same effect as like the masses when they see something funny that they can relate to and laugh about, or kind of play fun at. So the image itself and memeing in general is way more powerful than anyone could really actually imagine. It's a deeper sense of expressing that art side, which I think crypto in general is missing a whole lot of, because it's always so technical. It gets really nerdy. People start like, you talk to an everyday person, it's like really hard, because like you start using these words that are not common in any other field, and they get lost. But you show them a funny picture of a frog doing something like, fishing for oranges in a lake or something, I don't know, like, and then people can laugh and like relate to that. And so it's been ingrained in like the internet culture since the beginning. It's been always around, and I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I think it's only going to get heightened, right, as time possesses. As like, we see the new Apple Vision Pros or whatever, they're like incredible. You see videos of people just in this digital landscape, right? Like, so it's the way of the future. And it's one of the most effective ways to communicate, multi-generational. Like, just how it's like difficult in like text message to understand tone and all this stuff, you could pick up a lot from just a single image, and it could be relatable through all different generations, right? And so that's the power of the meme. The meme is the relatability, the ease, the creativity, the artistic aspect of it, all encompassing one. And then really to wrap it up in the sense of memetics and meme culture, Gooey says this, aka Hexorca, aka Accept Cookies. Shout out to the GOAT. He's often revered for all the people that really don't like him. It's a red flag to me, because the guy is just spitting facts. Him and Crypto Profeta were the only two people that I know of that publicly said Hex will go below a penny or whatever. And so people don't like when they hear the truth. The truth hurts sometimes. It really does. And the Tailgate, in a sense, was created from this like cancel culture toxicity that was being spread amongst the Hex community. We all have Hex stakes. We're not an anti-Hex or anti-Richard Heart community. That's a false narrative. We're actually a meshing group of a middle ground where people from other chains can come in and kind of find this common ground of art, creativity, inspiration, helping developers and creatives alike. And so what Cookie likes to say a lot, Orange Gooey, my man, he says you got to create something that's more important than that's more fun, more entertaining than selling the token, because everybody is so fixated on the price, right? But that can only last so long. I can only talk about T-shares so long. Personally, that's just me. Like, I got them down. I understand them. I understand the T-share rate goes up. I understand that it's a great, our view of a store of value, right? Like Hex should be our Bitcoin, Pulse chains are Ethereum. These things, like, you can't just sit there. It gets TA and all that. It just doesn't hit. It doesn't resonate with everybody. So we're just trying to get after a whole different group of individuals and people that can come and like kind of find a middle ground with this creative art. So find something more entertaining than selling a token or buying the token. So that's like the first major big aspect and step. So yeah, that's the ethos, right? It's about uplifting each other. It's about highlighting people that haven't really been given the respect that is I see due, and a lot of other people have agreed that is due. And then also changing the narrative and the just the mindset of people. Like we've been able to do free mint Fridays, which is like, I don't know, unheard of, the amount that we've done. And so we're not like charging people out of, the ass, out of Yahoo for like a JPEG, right? And we're honest, like don't buy JPEGs unless you have throwaway money. Like the transparency of what we've created in this community and the diverse like set of individuals has really been our strong suit. And I think that we're going to continue to build upon that, because we've been able to turn people that were not fans of Richard Hart into, okay, I still don't like Richard or whatever all that much for his persona or whatever, but I can rock with Pulse Chain. I can rock with this crew. We brought people in from Chia, Sol, Ethereum, and that just speaks to the power of the memes, right? Like people are seeing oranges blasted all over their timeline, and hey, it's an infection thing. Like it's inevitable, dude. So we're just giving people their daily dose of vitamin C.
No, and I mean, sometimes that's really the best thing for people, because when I first came into crypto, I was just very utility token focused. Like I did not understand meme coins or meme culture. And I was like, man, there's no way I would ever buy like a Shiba Inu or a dog coin or a cat coin. And it's like, you stay in crypto long enough, you're going to have some dog coins, cat coins, frog coins. Like sooner or later, it is, always good to have exposure to certain things and be diversified, but not like, risking your, not over investing, like, only what you can afford to lose. But, I was listening to a short video the other day by Randy Hilarski, and he even came out and said that he felt like the meme coins are better onboarding tools than the utility tokens, because, that's what helps get people onto Pulse Chain. And then, from there, eventually they find their way to, things like Hex, Pulse, PulseX, Texan, Hex Orange, So, I mean, that's the thing is, the blockchain has something for everybody. And, what would you say, how effective would you say the NFTs are? Is it because I've heard people say that it was really popular back in 2019 or 2021. I personally love the artwork. I think it's just absolutely amazing, the creativity that I see, with all these different artists. And, so. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. So essentially, what's your question again? Essentially, like how I view NFTs, or like the effectiveness of onboarding through NFTs, or
I'd probably say like the effectiveness, like what is it exactly about NFTs? Because I'm starting to see more of them come out with utility, and then I know that they have a certain rarity to them. It's not something that I necessarily dived into too much, but just
yeah, okay, so that's fair. NFTs they're still in their infant stage, right? And I think that actually, as of late, we've actually had a really big breakthrough through Tank Talk Wireless. Shout out to Drac, the team from Chia and stuff. They built it on Chia Data Later, and they launched it on Pulse Chain. It's essentially a cell phone through an NFT, being able to do anything like that you can do on a cell phone, but through an NFT, nodes being ran. Essentially, hypothetically, you eventually wouldn't even need an internet. You just have to spin up a bunch of. It gets really technical and nerdy on the aspect, and there's a lot of updates coming. It's very fresh and new, but that just shows the growth of the space, right? And this is something that this guy's been working on for like 20, 25 years or whatnot. Originally, though, like you see a lot of the pictures in JPEGs, and that's where like the red alert we're offered for people is like, okay, so why are these pictures just selling for hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, right? And that's the cultural change that we're seeing in the shift on Pulse Chain is like we're minting NFTs for free. We're not doing these like scammy whitelists where you have to be in with like a certain set of crew members. Like you just have to lean into the TEXAN as far as like various artists that are well known, like what they like. Sometimes it's like you have to own one HOA. Sometimes it's high. It's 69,420, which is like $8,000 now. That was $20 6 months ago. So
Wow.
yeah. So that is all a variable. And so really, at the end of the day, you're only buying the art and the JPEG, at least from my perspective, to support the person and the individual that you want. You're not looking to do a financial gain out of it. Like if you're honest with yourself and you're looking at it as the truth of what it is, for the most part, if it's just a JPEG, it's just a picture, like you shouldn't be going into that thinking that it's going to change your life forever. It may, but that's not something that should be preached or thought of. That's not how your mental like approach should be. It should be, dang, Mana's art is sick, or the Hex Funks by the Staker class and stuff, awesome. The Pulse Funks, love them. I got to support this guy. He shows up every day in spaces. They're always hosting stuff and doing things, right? So it's a way to extend your olive branch and say, hey, dude, I really got your back. I believe in what you're doing, and I want to continue to support that, because as time progresses and these things do innovate and they do become more useful and there is these different things that occur, we're going to be at the forefront of that, like being able to have the knowledge to mint NFTs on the contract side. And when Richard Hart launches his, he said he will eventually, right? He always says, I don't know when, but I'm eventually going to make an NFT and it'll be really good, right? So cool. Well, guess what? The TEXAN and all that, we're going to be able to mint it all out before anybody else, before any RH Maxi, before any of that. We're going to own all of it. So it's just being well versed and well rounded as part of like your toolkit being in crypto, and realizing that this is about supporting people. So it's about also being about like what you say, be about action, right? You want people to succeed, you want this or that. So okay, let's see it happen, right? And it's one way you can do it. And you don't have to even rock the ones that you own. You can edit them. You could have wallet security in that way. Like you don't need to put up your picture unless you have a doxed wallet. Some people don't care. So there's that aspect. And then you get into things like the HSI. That was kind of cool. That was an interesting, aspect that Alex and Hedron did. And then really at the forefront, this Tank Talk wireless thing is just absolutely going to be berserk. It's going to be help censorship resistant kind of private chats, group chats, open forums, like pictures, audio, videos, literally a phone through an NFT. So we don't think about that too much in like America or whatever, but there's third world countries and all this stuff that really, they get censored to the max. And like the kind of innovation that this can construct and occur is just really groundbreaking. So I'm just proud to be here and around the people that are trying to make these big digital movements. I see us as a digital future. Like we're already operating on debit cards, cash is slowly burning and fading away. And the CBDCs, they want to launch them. So any aspect that I can get my hands around and learning and really ingraining, like I see an NFT where you own fractionalized shares of a timeshare and you're getting paid out because you own that NFT. I see a world where that could be with any kind of endeavor, and it's just really beautiful to see that we have been able to support developers to focus on what they like really love and do, because that is one of the things as developers. They get screwed over by venture capitalists, and they end up taking control over their whole project, and then they have to start working on stuff they don't want, or they tweak it. So it's like there's that side of it too, right? Like that's irreplaceable. It's like a source of truly crowdfunding and putting your economic energy in places in people's pockets that you feel are going to benefit the world.
Absolutely. And I love how you really hit on the mindset for oftentimes purchasing NFTs is to support the people in the community that you truly believe in and that you feel resonate and represent with you the most. Because a lot of times it's not always about, okay, well, what can I make off of this? And when I've heard a lot of people talk about different use cases for NFTs, like they're going to be in so many different places in our areas of our lives. Like I can foresee driver's license, birth certificate, insurance, like so many use case applications, for because we're moving, further towards, the digital age. Like we're not going backwards. Like you said, cash is pretty much being phased out, which I see people, on Facebook from time to time, they freak out about it because it's the cashless society. And, for a long time, I used to stay away from crypto because, I thought it was all bad. When you have the tinfoil hat on too tight, it cuts off circulation to logical thinking. But I think ultimately what it is at the end of the day is, a lot of people do fear change. And, instead of trying to understand on a macro level, like what this is about and where we're heading, sometimes the easy thing to do is to just kind of, put our head in the sand and, be like, I'm just going to point the finger and label it as this, and I'm not going to bother to look into it. But I've been trying to keep up with the comments. It's just been blowing up, man.
You're good, and that just shows the strength of the community.
Yes.
Like that what we built, like people from all angles and all aspects. And I didn't even touch on the aspect of the fact that we changed the narrative that it was shunned. It was kind of shunned on ETH for artists to have higher royalties for their work, but they're the ones who put the time, the creative energy into it. And so we've kind of set a 33% standard royalty, so artists are ensured to eat and always be, getting something back for their labor and their time. It also helps negate people trying to like almost wash trade or like sit there and like price things at ridiculous levels because you have to factor in the 33% plus your profit plus the market fee, right? So we're just trying to build this authentic brand in a sense.
Oh, absolutely. And, anytime, you got really great people in the community doing amazing work, you always want to support people, and Crypto Compassion, Bullish OX, real estate NFTs. We got Satan's Angel. That's an interesting name, but we'll roll with it. The Tame Gang was on top when I was conceived because it has real brothers and sisters that really care. Yeah, you talk about strength of community. I have seen just some really amazing, fully unified, passionate group of people, really promoting the tenets of true DeFi. And my understanding when it comes to HOA, Hex OA,
Hex Orange Address,
Hex Orange Address is there is no admin keys, it's immutable, and the LP tokens were burned.
Correct.
So, I mean, that right there just kind of shows that, you got people that, really, they're putting their money where their mouth is. And, you got to respect that.
Yeah. And they've done a really good job. Shout out to Too Spooky, the founder. Done a really good job on trying to educate people on how to smart sell. That's why the chart looks the way it does, because people are taking profits, but they're going in V3. Shout out to 9mm.pro. It's V3 liquidity. It's enabled to where you set the range and you put it on the sell side where you're selling to the market, not on the market. So you're putting your coins up there for people to buy up and through too. So it's instead of going market dumping and creating big red candles. And so in a sense, everybody's winning. People are getting into the culture. It's creating all this different knowledge. We also, we preach people should take profits. We don't shun, we don't pocket watch. We're not someone that like really cares. Like it's either you are with us or you're against us kind of thing. It is kind of an all out thing. It's just, doing what benefits you and what like you're accessible to at the moment in time. So, you got the if you want to go V2, it'll compound your interest for you. You can go into the Pussycat Life Farms or whatever and earn OG, earn the passive incentive token. Like it's a big interweb of a lot of moving parts that are occurring that has helped sustain a healthy ecosystem. And it just comes down to some of the leaders that we have, the education that we're always talking about, and just those creative minds kind of uplifting everybody. It's really created a solid ethos. And I think everything happens for a reason. And a lot of these people have been here. I mean, Too Spooky, the founder, shouts from the rooftops for a $50 hex. So it's like, these people believe in hex. We still want hex to succeed and go to the moon. And we just wanted to have a healthier kind of community where we can all have our open minds and talk things out in a sense without being shunned for liking something different, So I think at the end of the day, that's like our strength is our unity. and the vision that we have of the future and how we want to see Pulse Chain evolve. We want to set a different standard for artists. We want to set a different standard of education and levels. And we just want to be there for the collective and the group of the whole. Like, we want to be what we're talking about. We want to be able to be about. We want to walk it like we talk it, like, and we just want to put our best foot forward.
Oh, absolutely. And Naz Khan, I've known him for quite a while. He's in a lot of different Telegram groups. Thank you so much for being here. 33% royalties are standard, and we fully encourage all of our community artists to set that amount. So very, very strong, unified, community-focused, and driven, and the creativity flows. And it's just awesome, that you guys have, really built something amazing and incredible. And, the thing with one of the things that I've noticed with a lot of the meme coin crowds is that usually they will, I'll see like jumping from one narrative to another, one coin to another. And, I've noted, yep. And I've noticed, a lot of folks on Ethereum, they have copies on the Pulse chain, but they're hesitant to, come check out the chain because a lot of them, take a lot of their advice, opinions from their, leaders. I'm not going to name any names, but I did get exposure to accept cookies back when the Pepe thing was going on, and I listened into some of those live spaces just to see what it was about, and I was like, good Lord, what did I just walk into? I think I'm going to be quiet and just listen. And it's sometimes it's really fun, really entertaining. Sometimes it's very educational, and then sometimes you hear people get their ass chewed out, and I guess sometimes it's warranted. But you never know what you're going to walk into, but it is always entertaining.
Yeah, and that's that cultural shift that we've tried to encourage and change. Like, people are free to speak up and say what they feel. The problem with a lot of those things that occur on like Ethereum side is they're usually centered around one or two individuals, and then that's a breaking point and a weak point, because if something happens or that's a bad actor or something, it kind of fizzles and destroys the group. Whereas we just have people that are willing to step up to the plate. And, at the end of the day, it's almost like if Richard Hart dies, I feel very confident at this kind of thing. If Richard Hart had died, Hex will still go on. I feel like at this point we've established such a solid grounding and foundation of individuals that really believe in what we're trying to push here, that HOA would continue and Tangang would continue, especially if big members decided to go do their own thing. So nobody's holding a gun to anyone's head, and it's all volunteer time. And I think the complexity of the fact that we have such a multitude of people from all over the world, by the way, too, like just everywhere, this big melting pot, that's what helps us succeed the most.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Oh yeah, and of course, Sexy Quinn, the ass chewings are my favorite part of the Tangang spaces, and it's
they're there. They're not. We're not unsusceptible to that, so it happens, right? But all in good nature, all at a good heart, and there's something that people should remind themselves that sometimes you need to not outshine the master. You need to shut your lip and just listen, because there's a reason why it gets extreme at some point, because you're not understanding. People are not really actually listening. They're trying to create their own perspectives and their own narratives off what, say, an individual portrays, and they try to pin that for the whole community, which we're so diverse that it's impossible to really do. It's dishonest to their followers if they try to do that to us. Because I think that we're a well-rounded niche individuals. We got the hype trains, we got the serious giga brains. We let the devs dev, we let the artists create and be artists. And so that's the power of us as the individuals. And nobody is holding, like I said, a gun to your head to go up to the stage and get ridiculed if you're feeling some type of way. And a lot of these people, their DMs are open. They will have that interaction. They will talk it out, and they will keep it private or whatever. But it's just it's the transparency aspect. It's really powerful for us. We talk openly in spaces about different situations that are occurring. Hey, we're doing this. Do you want to do that? There's no real big private back doors, and I think that's what really separates us.
Oh, absolutely. And Godfather, is there anything? I don't want to forget about you.
I know I feel
Maybe,
bad.
Oh no, I'm here just supporting. But Nate, just gotta say, I love your energy. I jumped into the Tang game a couple weeks ago and stuff, and yeah, it's a beautiful thing that they got going on. But I kind of want to touch on a couple things real quick.
yeah.
I keep seeing this Hodge and Podge mentioned in the chat. Like, what's that about?
Oh man, so that's like a part of my creative process. I've been messing around with AI and stuff and doing art. I initially started doing all that. Like, I've drawn a little, you know, I've dabbled in art in my life and stuff like that. I got a little bit of drawings and stuff like that, like pencil and stuff. But we got Free Mint Fridays. I wanted to contribute to the community the most that I can, and so like I just established learning how to essentially create digital art to get it on the blockchain and provide free value for people to join, and also give like some of the really serious artists a little bit of a break so they don't always have to put something out. And so Hodge and Podge are like a set of characters I created. I started getting into like AI voices and stuff too, and I'm kind of like creating a story, a fable of Pulse Chain Palace, and Hodge and Podge are the Hex brothers. And so, yeah, it's just like a storyline essentially. So the only thing I'm missing now is getting visuals behind that. And I essentially I'm trying to plan in the background between my life, creating chapters and releasing those either every other week or once a month with visuals behind them in the form of NFTs.
That's awesome.
Yes.
I love listening to them in spaces. Now I have a question. Do you have audio that we can listen to?
I could try to feed it through here. This is like one of my drawings from this is
Wow.
brick by brick is what we like to say by the Pulse Chain. So like yeah, I have a creative mind. I think I'm someone that likes to do all these things. But let me see. I could try to find something to spin something up for us. And oh man, put me on the spot. That's funny. Let's see. Give me a second to look through that while you guys chat it.
No, bro, you got so much creative talent and stuff, and yeah. So I think that people would love to get a taste of this if you're able to do this. So yeah, I think we should try to get it done.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. And man, this chat is just blowing up.
Gotta love the Tang game. Gotta love Tang game.
Yeah, no, it is awesome. It's just great to see so many people, like at the end of the day, we're all Pulsicans, Hexicans, Texicans, Hex Orange. I mean, we're all here for DeFi. So I mean, it's just great to see community come together and support one another. So
yeah, a bunch of good people rallying together and doing a bunch of good things. It doesn't have to be all one thing. Like we kind of push Texan. We got HOA. We got all the NFTs and all the different artists and stuff like that. So everybody kind of has their own little branches. But as long as we're just all driving forward with this positive message, then we're going to get where we want to go.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the thing is I've always felt like the biggest keys to adoption is going outside of the Richard Hart ecosystem and just trying to get as many people who are not into crypto into crypto. I've never seen the purpose of like trying to siphon users from this community to get them to come over to our, like, it's like civil war. It's like, no, we need to go outside of our bubble. We need to put in the time, put in the work, help educate people, help onboard them onto true DeFi, teach them, all the, everything to do with security, self-custody. And, that's always been, for me, where it's at. I have no interest in competing or, trashing other people or other projects. I just want to do really great work and let that stand for itself and collaborate with as many like-minded individuals as we can here in the Pulse Chain ecosystem.
Amen to that, man.
Yeah, I could.
You ready?
Let's see if you can hear this. All right, let me see. Let me know. I'm gonna.
Once upon a time in the mystical realm of Blockchainia.
Oh yeah, we can hear it. We can hear it.
Palace. No, once upon a time.
All right, I'm gonna start it over. Here we go. Strap in, guys. It might be a little rough, but let's see.
Once upon a time in the mystical realm of Blockchania, there existed a magnificent palace known as the Pulse Chain, ruled by the wise and just King Orange Ironheart. Safeguarding this palace were two brothers, Hodge and Podge, renowned as the Hex Brothers. Their duty was to protect the sacred pulse of the kingdom, the crypto lifeblood that powered the prosperity of the land. One day, a dark shadow crept over Blockchania, bringing with it a horde of false crypto prophets. These imposters sought to deceive the kingdom with their misleading promises and shoddy tokens. The Hex Brothers, ever vigilant, sprang into action as soon as they sensed the impending threat. Hodge, the taller and brawnier of the two, brandished his mighty crypto axe, a weapon forged from the strongest blockchain steel. Podge, the nimble and quick-witted sibling, twirled his crypto dagger with finesse, ready to strike at any moment. Together they formed an unstoppable force against the false crypto prophets. The imposters, clad in flashy but dubious tokens, approached the Pulse Chain Palace with deceitful smiles. The Hex Brothers, however, were not fooled. Hodge raised his crypto axe high and shouted, "By the power of the decentralized ledger, we shall vanquish your falsehoods." Battle commenced with a flurry of attacks and counterattacks. Hodge swung his crypto axe with precision, cutting through the misleading promises like a hot knife through butter. Podge darted between the false prophets, his crypto dagger dancing in the air, swiftly dismantling their fraudulent schemes. The false crypto prophets tried to fight back, summoning pump and dump schemes and creating illusions of quick riches. But Hodge and Podge stood firm, their commitment to the kingdom unyielding. Hodge cleverly avoided the traps laid by the imposters, while Hodge crushed their deceitful schemes with each swing of his mighty axe. As the battle raged on, the Pulse Chain Palace glowed brighter with the true essence of the blockchain. King Orange Ironheart observed from his throne, nodding in approval as the Hex Brothers valiantly defended the kingdom against the false crypto prophets. In the end, Hodge and Podge emerged victorious, the crypto axe and dagger gleaming with the triumph of truth over deception. False crypto prophets retreated into the shadows, vanquished by the unwavering determination of the Hex Brothers. The kingdom of Blockchania was once again secure, thanks to the bravery and humorously creative tactics of Hodge and Podge, the Hex Brothers. And so, the Pulse Chain Palace continued to pulse with the heartbeat of a decentralized and honest crypto realm.
Hey,
Wow.
Dude, that is awesome, bro.
oh, let's go, baby. Go Hodge and Podge.
Heck yeah.
And
I mean, that's just stuff that comes out of like my brain from like sitting in the spaces and having a good time and laughing and stuff. So
Can I ask you a question?
yeah, go ahead.
What sparked that initial thought of that? Like what was it? Was it like, had you been thinking about something and then something came, or were you just hanging out and then all of a sudden it was like, boom, this thing just popped in? Like, well, what gave you the inspiration?
I was messing around with AI voice changing stuff, and then it just clicked to me, like in my like sitting there, like what's an innovative, creative way that nobody's kind of done in a sense. And I think I saw this guy named Tom Pepe. Shout out to Tom Pepe. He's on Chia, and there's HOA and Tanging on Chia as well. So we're multi-chain, and he created this book called Tang Bears. So it was like teaching younger kids about crypto, and it's like a cute little cartoon book. And so I don't know, just in my mind, the combination of that with like the spaces that I was in, like messing around, it just like triggered in my brain, like, oh, why don't we just create fables or folklore, like something that people can like list. Like right now it's audio, but eventually like they'll have the audio and the visual. So it's a combination between that, and then Orange Gooey has a like 27-minute video about the infinite money glitch that we have going on. That's what we call it, pinned to his profile, which is his audio meshed with like a cartoon. And so it's like all these little things, right? I found inspiration into trying to find my niche. And like, it's just me in my mind trying to create more value, entertainment for people. And that's how I stumbled upon that.
wow.
Well, that's awesome, man. Sorry, Robert, go ahead.
Oh no, it's all good. So one quick question, either one of you can answer this. Got Apex here in the chat. Does anybody here know how to make infinite money? And then we got Nazcon with the infinite money glitch. So If you could just kind of summarize like what that's all about.
Yeah, 100%. So the infinite money glitch is a way to isolate value. So we typically encourage people to artists to list their stuff in OG, which would be the emission token of the Pussycat Farms, pussycat.life, 9mm.pussycat.life. They created their OG. They were one of the first pretty much developers and protocol that leaned into the Tang gang. They created the token called OG, and we use that as a way to get discounted rates or various pricings for people's art. And then not too long later, we have this amazing developer, Rentomania. I don't know if you've heard of it yet, but it's amazing. It's an incredible like Monopoly game that we have on Pulse Chain already built on Unity, very high quality. Well, they also have their own yield token and farms called the Enigma Diamond Mines. And the Enigma is the token of their system that kicks out. Both have various supplies. I think Enigma is more rare, but the emissions of OG is a lot slower and lower compared to the Enigma. And what ended up happening, which from the first of I know, is we had two essentially GigaChad developers compromise, come together and pair their incentive token, which would be like the ink of PulseX. But for them, it's OG and Enigma, and they both paired their OG and Enigma on both of their platforms. So you can go to the Enigma Diamond Mines and you can yield farm Enigma with OG and Enigma, or you can go to the Pussycat Farms and you can do OG and Enigma and get OG. And so it's like this reciprocating wheel of all constant value being circulated and all held up, but part of like also what we would call Hart's Law, everything getting paired together, and that rising tide is lifting all the boats. And so we also created less negative sell pressure through OG because we're not directly dumping Pulse Chain, right? Like the artists are taking profits, again, smart ways through V3 liquidity. Like this is a part of all the education. And like essentially the best way to really sum it up, because it's like a 27-minute explanation, is to go to Orange Gooey's page right there, pinned. Yeah, check that out, guys. Click that. Watch the 27-minute video. If you don't understand it, watch it again. If you don't understand it, watch it one more time. Then come into the space and then ask us questions. But it's a way to insulate value and create different distributions for artists and creatives alike. And it's just printing free money. Even if the pools go inactive, you don't lose your coins or anything like that. They don't take control over your coins. You can go and take your coins out. So
nice.
There's just varying pools, and they change. So you just every couple of months or whatever, based on whatever the developers want to do. And it's a very powerful thing that's been created, and it's only going to get stronger. Like as of right now, we're eventually going to be having some wrapped Bitcoin and wrapped Ethereum backing a lot of this stuff too. So we're trying to practice what Rich Hart told everyone to preach. He didn't tell everybody just to sit on their hands for 15 years. He said that's how you get rich, but he also told you to like build and do stuff, get out to other communities, take action. And the fine line is, at the end of the day, like if you're not growing, if you're staying stagnant, you're not going anywhere. And that's not acceptable, right? We're the L1 that wants to set the standard of true DeFi, and we want to be out there in the forefront doing the best we can, showing that we're active and that there are things going on here that people can come to the chain and participate in.
Absolutely. And I don't know of any single layer one that has been successful with just, one thing on there. Like, just like, so I've always thought of, a blockchain like a shopping mall. Like you got the mall itself is the layer one, and then all the individual stores, vendors, shops, those are going to be like your layer twos. So we go to the shopping mall, and of course, not everything that's in the mall is going to be strike your fancy, but it's like you go there for certain things, but those individual, stores and items and, brands, that's what got you to the mall in the first place. So that's the best way I can sum up. You got to build on a solid foundation, and you got to have a little something for everybody.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. Look, maximalism is fine. When it becomes toxic, that's the different story, right? So it's cool if you're obsessed and in love with one thing. That's great. If you want to be a cartoon character, wear the same outfit every day, that's fine. I don't. I like different stuff. I like to go, eat Chinese one day. Maybe I want some Thai the other day. Maybe I want some Korean barbecue, right? Like there's everything is necessary. You need the people that are like diehard tribalistic fiends about their coin. You need those people in the beginning because they're going to keep it afloat. And then as this grows and we got to L1, now we have to appeal to the masses. And we have to be like Hodge and Podge. We got to protect the Pulse Chain Palace, right? So the idea, is to be well diverse in all aspects. You know, it can be boring to teach people about hex and stuff like that. Let's just be honest. I love it. It's cool. It's an innovative, great thing that occurs for us and that we can utilize. But like you said, most people get onboarded through meme coins. So if we could show them a good time, we could show them all these different little things that we got going on. They're going to find hex and they're going to have a different light and approach to it. And they're going to be more positive about looking into it. And rather than trying to shove it down their throat saying, oh, you're stupid, you're this, you're that, if you don't believe in this, like, it's a total mental like disability to sit there and put someone down because they don't see eye to eye with you. Like, isn't that what's wrong with going on in the country right now? Like, our whole country and everything is all divided because there's one narrative being pushed down everyone's throat. Whether you believe whatever your beliefs are, right? It's not right at the end of the day. Like, we are the land of the free, right? We're supposed to, and the blockchain is the epitome of a digital ledger of freedom, being able to do what you want with your own money, your own decisions. So its approach, its attitude, its energy, it's a multifaceted aspect that people have to really take in. And not everybody is born to be leaders. Not everybody's born to sit there, and it takes a lot to sit here. I remember when I first started streaming, it was like awkward, it's weird, like it's a little nerve-wracking, but like you get into the flow, like same with the spaces. But like, again, everybody has their place, right? And so that's the beauty of the TEXAN Gang, is we try to like rise up and give the podium to the people that in their strongest aspects. And whatever your weakness is, you know, you're only as strong as your weakest link. And so that's why we want everybody to succeed in their avenue. You want everyone to be able to feel like this is a chain and a place that I want to be, where I want to spend my time, my money, and find their niche.
Oh, absolutely. And you know, that's the thing, is unfortunately we're in that time of the year where, you know, people succumb to the what I call the red blue mind spell, where everybody's fine and cool with each other, but once every 4 years it's like, no, you know, I want this group of people to, you know, control every aspect of our lives. No, these people need to be our, you know, supreme masters. It's like it, you know, so that's one of the reasons why I got into crypto, is I found it so I just found it so useful. Like, you know, I'm learning things. These are things that I can actually apply in life to help me and help other people out, because most people don't have it figured out as far as, you know, money goes, or how money works, or long-term planning. They just think, you know, okay, I'm going to work this job, I get my paycheck, I got my 401k, hopefully Social Security will still be around. And it's like, you know, crypto is all about taking the power back into your own hands, and it's being responsible and being accountable. And some people do fear that, you know, they don't want to be responsible for that stuff. But when we delegate power and give it away to other people and expect them to hold our best interest in mind, usually it does not happen, because it's like, yeah, I got access to all these funds. It says on a digital screen, these people have this value, but you know how it goes. You know, the human heart is corruptible, and people do help themselves. And I'm going to go ahead and do some screen sharing here. So we got Hex OA coin right here. This is the main website. Let me hold on.
Yep. Shout out to Bullish Ox. He's freaking I don't know. He's a giga beast. That's what he is. He's just an animal all over it, always providing value. He's doing a lot of back end work for multiple communities, not just the TEXAN Gang, and he's been doing it from the get go. So shout out to Bullish. He is the man, dude.
Absolutely. Hex Orange address, where juicy memes meet innovation. I mean, that is living proof. So 0% APY, free zest, 99% citrus surge. I mean, so this is the official Hex Orange website. 9mm decks. So this is just loaded with everything. Beautiful. So Nate, I wanted to ask you, take a look here. We got your, so tell us about, this is your NFT artwork?
Yeah, so some of that's just my creations. If you scroll to the bottom, it's like the first ones. That's the latest one. So um, they're different homages. So let's go all the way to the bottom first, and you can kind of like.
Sure.
Okay, so that got locked. Cosmic Tang was a collection created for the Staker class, just a homage to them. Essentially, it was like cosmonauts. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's like orange theme cosmonauts between like Spartans or whatever, but just to show the strength and kind of like yeah, just like a shout out to them because we had a little private thing called not a private thing. We had an open NFT mint for them where a bunch of people could submit art to them called the Staker Chat or whatever, just to, you know, again, pay respects to them because they're one of the communities that's been building and building and building. He's always been there, you know, kind of gets neglected. So that was a homage to him. If you go up above that, the Citron Valkyries, those were to Ted DeFi. He has he's an amazing creative who creates a lot of music and a lot of different digital stuff that I'm really a big fan of. He's amazing, talented individual. He's also like been like a musician at heart. So he created this thing called Fairy Blossoms. And this was just kind of like my respect to Ted in a sense. That was he did some really beautiful fairies. So I did some warrior chicks right there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. And then the Pussycat Girls are for the Pussycat Farms, dedicated to the team for them being the first like basically developers to lean into the Tang Gang, try to provide value, listen and hear us out. And so I inspired just to create a whole collection for them. The 333 was for mimetic numbers as far as like, you know, 33 and oranges.
Nice.
Yeah. And then the last one, it's kind of like to Hocus Pocus, but more so less to the actual individuals of the Tang Gang, because I think what we're doing is magical, and I think that it highlights us in general. So yeah, I went with wizards, and who doesn't like wizards? Wizards are badass.
It really is, and this is some really, really nice, phenomenal artwork. So, is this something that takes place like on Fridays?
Yeah, so every Friday we have Pre-Mint Friday. The artist determines the qualification. So it could be 1 HOA, it could be 30 Enigma diamonds to get the free mint. For me personally, like I have Witches coming out here soon called Mystic Grove Witches Unleashed. They'll be next. All the requirement for that is if you own my collections. If you own any of my collections, you'll be able to mint like I haven't decided if it's going to be 2 or 3 of those per wallet. It's pretty much going to be all free. If you don't own any of my stuff, I'll price it in OG at a determined price, and you can get involved that way.
Awesome, amazing. So, if you were not already following Oozing Orange, this is the Twitter page. So be sure to give him a follow and put notifications on. Be on the lookout for these. So, yeah, this is really. This is really incredible. I'm sorry. I almost feel like I'm shopping here.
No, you're fine. Yeah, it's all good. Below that, you could see that and this is for every artist that is on that the Hexaway coin site. You see it says on the bottom, view on Beatbox, view on NFT on Pulse, view on Pulse Market. So you can actually go directly to the collections via that way. Or you can go to like 9mm, NFT.9mm. That's also another one. But yeah, there you go. You could see the variations. Shout out to those bad boys right there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. There's some intricate ones. I have a little surprise for the Wizards coming up too. I'll save that.
Did you make all of these or?
Yeah, well, I labor all my time to create them, craft them, and it's like you wouldn't believe how annoying it is to get hands correct. But it's refining them and trying to get them to be the best that I can, just to provide this value again to the community. I really don't look to try to make money off of it. I try to make them all free. So if you appreciate me, whatever I've done or whatever, then people have bought in or whatever, or got all the mints. I mean, like the first mints I ever had was like if you owned XYZ projects from other artists. So like it's just a really good way to support yourself and other people too.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. No, it's just, I mean, if you want to support local pulse chain artists, this is where it's at. And no, I mean, this is awesome. I'm glad we were able to have you on stream and appreciate you coming on. It's, I know it's been a while, but I'm really happy that you have, found your niche. You've, it's always good to have that feeling of fulfillment. So, and I think any time in life when we're, our heart is aligned with what our desires are, that's truly the best place to be. So go ahead and God, I just can't keep up with the chat tonight. This has never happened
Oh
before.
man, that's good.
Yeah. Ooh, Hexy Quinn. I
Ooh.
heard TEXAN will be involved with Free Mint Friday soon. Wow. So that.
Yeah. Hey, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's infectious. So we did stuff for the Leviathan project, which is like I forget the guys exactly who's behind that, but we've done other communities too. So like we're big proponents on lifting up other communities. And yeah, we want to provide more value and more attention to all the people doing the right thing.
No, definitely. And yeah, no, it's just awesome. So Godfather, you got anything before we wrap up?
I just want to say thank you to Nate for coming on. Shout out to the Tang Game for coming out and supporting your boy. Yeah, this is both. Tang Game doing a lot of good stuff, and Nate, you're a good dude. What you're doing is awesome. The hodgepodge stuff, man, good stuff. And yeah, whenever you're ready to get back on streaming, I think you're gonna do a good job, man. You're really good on stream, very personable. So just keep doing what you're doing, brother.
Oh, absolutely. And anytime you want to come on, just let us know. Be more than happy to have you. And it's just been really awesome getting to see all the community support coming out, because I asked for it at the beginning. I'm like, if you got oranges, throw them now. Like, so, when it rains, it pours. So, but no, I mean, it's really awesome to see communities reaching out to each other, sharing stage and platform, because I've said it myself many times. Like, I think people need to be reminded we can all be successful, and we don't have to tear other people down to get there. We don't have to step on people. We don't have to undercut people. We can all be successful just by, putting our time, concentration into fine-tuning and refining our craft. And that's what I like most is, as Samantha would always say, we rise by lifting others. So that's that to me is the right approach and the right way to, that's what I would like to see happen more in this ecosystem. So, but thank you so much, Nate. Truly happy to have you on. Does anybody have any closing thoughts before we wrap this up?
See y'all tomorrow for Free Mint Friday.
I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, I just finished by saying shout out to Samantha, shout out to you. Thank you for having me on. Shout out to Crypto Heartbeat, shout out to Rag, shout out to Facing Reality, everybody on the TEXAN team. I'm really proud to back you guys and still be around for you. I think what you guys are doing is very powerful. I think it speaks volumes. I think people like you are the people that deserve to continue to push forward and lead, because you guys are really about it and you guys have the true passion. And I want to remind everybody that abundance is the standard mindset you need to keep. Prosperity will come, and continue to lock arms, because the journey to the top is not a straight shot. We're going to go through our curves and all that. But at the end of the day, this is about creating a healthy culture, a healthy ecosystem on top of finding financial freedom. The money aspect, it's going to be not a problem. I believe that we're going to have more money than we know what to do with in general. And I think that just finding what's right with you inside and doing self-growth in between all the years of having our stakes for Hex and for TEXAN, all that good stuff, don't waste that time. Spend time with your family, uplift, try to make yourself a better person. Take a look in the mirror. I got to step back sometimes, step away from social media, but I'll go on. I love you guys. You guys are amazing. It was a pleasure and honor. And yeah, we'll have to do this again for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you so much. And got Drix in the house. Thank you so much, Drix, for always being here. Appreciate you. Thank you, everybody, for showing up here tonight in chat. Really appreciate everyone being here. I normally shoot for Sundays at 9 p.m., but sometimes that's just not in the cards. So I try to get people on when their schedule lines up, and I see you got that orange. But anyways, we will be back this Sunday. Not sure what time at the moment, but be on the lookout. TEXAN Tailgate will be back this coming Sunday. So thank you, everyone, for being here with us tonight, and we will see you next time. Take care. Cheers.